Government is launching 55 labour activation programs in Johannesburg this morning. It's all part of a national campaign to create over 700,000 jobs. Newzroom Afrika's Ziniko Mhlaba is at Nasrec and joins us now. Ziniko, paint us a picture of today's activation.
Good morning to you, Mhlaba. As you just said in your intro, that it is the Department of Labour and Employment that has started an initiative of creating employment and entrepreneurship opportunities for young people across the country. And of course, young people who want to get into entrepreneurship, this is an opportunity where they will be able to access all the information they need, but also those who are seeking formal employment or just any form of training. This will also be a platform they can get on so that they are able to have the necessary information and be guided and be trained towards whatever skill they would like to acquire. So this was launched just this past week, and of course it is going to be happening across 9 provinces here in Gauteng. And of course today here we are in Nasrec, south of Johannesburg, where the Gauteng leg of the initiative is being launched. However, understand that behind this initiative there's a UIF who are responsible for making sure that there's a financial resource, a financial muscle behind them. I'm joined now by the commissioner of the UIF, Mr. Tebogo Maruping, who is going to give us more insights about how they are coming in on board, but also how effective will this be in terms of eradicating unemployment, which this country has been grappling for. And second to that, why now?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think for UIF, why now? We had to wait until our financial muscle was solid. If you recall, in 2020, UIF responded to COVID. We spent about 65 billion rands. We could not bring any sizable interventions in the country until we were financially solid. And now we're in a financial position where we can again inject cash into the economy and contribute to our unemployment. And this is one of those initiatives where we are setting aside 23 billion rands towards training for employment and entrepreneurship. The process has started way back in 2021. When we had sent out a request for proposals to private sector, government and government entities, and we're saying if there's anyone out there who is able to help us create employment, come on board. Send us proposals, we'll look at them, and we're also saying if you can co-fund, please help us with the funding, and you can match us rent for rent. So it took a long process to test rigor and also make sure that everything's above board, so that by the time we appoint the service providers that we are bringing on board today is something that we've tested and we are happy with.
I mean, just more clarity on the financial muscle, which you think, which you're suggesting that was not solid yet. Can you give us more insights about that? Did you not have it in your coffers, or it was a matter of maybe the timing, or you were not allowed to release it? So what do you mean you didn't have enough money to start the project at this time? Okay.
It was not so much that we did not have enough money. If I could take you back in 2020, we were sitting at around 160 billion rands asset under management. We spent 65 billion rands. Now, we wanted to be careful because we want to remain a going concern, financial sustainable institution. So we wanted to build enough surplus. So we did have enough money, but it was not enough to have an impactful impact when we're actually driving this kind of a project in the country. Yeah.
Now let's talk about the service providers who are partnering with you to run this project. One will say, why are you partnering with the provincial government? Because there are NGOs that are training young people on a daily basis who will do much better with this part of opportunity and financial resources. One will say, let government do its own project and work with NGOs that are constantly on the ground, working, volunteering, training young people. One will say that doing this maybe to help the ANC in Gauteng campaign, and why not NGOs basically?
That's a fair question, but if you look at the pool of the service providers on board, NGOs are there. I cannot give you the names, but we have NGOs, private sector, training entities, so they're in there. But the reason why we are partnering the province is because the province has a sense of the issues on the ground. They know what people are struggling with. They've engaged their population. They know what exactly is happening on the ground, all the way down to the district. They've developed things like IDP, where they've identified the needs of the people on the ground. And we want to have that alignment. We'll be going throughout all the provinces. So it's not an ANC-driven agenda. We'll be going to the Western Cape. We'll give out dates today. I think the minister gave dates on Thursday when we'll be going to all the different provinces, including the Western Cape. So it's not an ANC thing, it's a South African program.
So in terms of monitoring and evaluation, how are you going to ensure that the service providers do not misuse this project for their own agendas? In this case, maybe electioneering and all those things. How are you going to ensure that the message that is sent through to the people who should be the beneficiaries of this project are not being misused, it's not being hijacked basically for the wrong reasons? How are you going to make sure that does not happen?
It's always a concern for us that money could be misused and people could drive different agendas. So we're introducing a combined assurance model. In this combined assurance model, we did it during COVID. We brought in M&E to do follow-up on projects. We bring internal audit. We bring risk. We'll also bring AG, because during COVID, we also ask AG to go and test some of the interventions that we have implemented, just to make sure that we close all the gaps. But what we also want to do as well as part of this bigger project is to bring an overarching PMO office separate from the implementation. Their role will be to make sure that they follow up on the projects individually on a monthly basis, just to make sure that we tick all the boxes. But I think what is key is when people are employed, we want them to be contributing to UIF. So it's going to be another test for the project, that are they now contributing on UIF? Can we pick up on our database? Because we need to test that every month to see, oh, yes, this individual is now contributing, which will in the end bring about the sustainability of the UIF. Because as you contribute, UIF becomes sustainable and UIF can contribute even further into the economy.
Okay, let's talk about sustainability of the project. If I'm a young person who's unemployed at home, I'm hearing this project on Newzroom Afrika, I want to engage on it. How long will this job opportunity going to take, and how sustainable will it be? How long will I have an opportunity to remain on this project?
Each program varies. For example, we have 15,000 call center opportunities. It's permanent jobs. Others, they have projects that will run for 36 months, others is 24 months. But we said to the service providers, we don't want anything less than 24 months of engagement with the youth. We should give us time in that 24 months to look at taking them further beyond 24 months. So we have a 24 months lead time to look for a further program to reintroduce them back into employment if needs arise.
Commissioner, thank you very much for your time.
It was a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That's Mr. Debo Khomaropeng, who's the Commissioner of the UIF, just giving us some more insights and background of this particular project. As we said earlier on, that this is a national project, and today they are launching it here in Gauteng. We're expecting the Minister of Labour and Employment to also join this particular briefing, which is going to start anytime from now on. And of course, the Premier of Gauteng, Mr. Panyaza Lesofi, will also be on stage, and they will take us through this official program and answer some of the questions members of the media will have.